Have you ever heard the phrase bishop roulette? Now, you younger ones probably have. Some of you older maybe not. But the idea of roulette is, if you think Russian roulette, you never know what's coming. Is there going to be a bullet in the chamber? Am I safe or not? And it's all left up to luck. That's what freaks me out about it. Well, if that's roulette, what's bishop roulette? Oh, wait, I think I might be able to guess on this one. It's all geography. So wherever you happen to live, and who happens to be called as bishop of that neighborhood, that's the church leader you get, at least on the local level. And some will be more kind, and some a little more impatient, perhaps. Some will err on the side of mercy, and others will err on the side of justice. And we're all doomed to err in some way since we're human. I hear this from my students all the time, from the rising generation, because young single adults seem to move constantly, and they're jumping around, and do I go to my ward or my girlfriend's ward or my friend's ward? And who's the nicest bishop is sometimes a question on their mind, especially if they have sins to repent of, and they have to face a judge in Israel. What kind of judge am I in for? Have you ever heard those statistics that sentences are usually harsher right before lunch? And people kind of freak out over that, like, wait, it's something as simple as, was the judge hungry or not? And if he's hungry, is he hangry? And is he angry at me and I'm the culprit? And now he's going to come down hard just because he needed to sneak a Snickers before the next court case? Wow. Now, what's interesting about this is look at verse 12 of section 29, because bishop roulette, well, think about judge roulette on final judgment. And will God come down harshly on me, knowing that I'm guilty of my sins? Well, notice verse 12. Again, verily, verily, I say unto you, and it hath gone forth in a firm decree by the will of the Father, that mine apostles, the 12 which were with me in my ministry at Jerusalem, shall stand at my right hand at the day of my coming in a pillar of fire, being clothed with robes of righteousness, with crowns upon their heads, in glory, even as I am, to judge the whole house of Israel, even as many as have loved me and kept my commandments, and none else. Now, when he starts that with, it's gone forth in a firm decree, it's like, oh, have you said this before? And actually, yes, he did. In the New Testament, shortly after the story of the rich young ruler who wasn't able to give up everything and follow Jesus, Peter and some of the other apostles are saying, well, we gave up everything. What kind of reward are you offering us? And the Lord, rather than chide them, actually makes this incredible promise. This is Matthew 19, verse 28. Ye which have followed me, in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Interesting. So what was first said in Matthew 19 is now being reconfirmed in section 29. Who will those judges be? The 12 apostles of the Lamb. Now, which one would you want to pass judgment on you? Peter was kind of in your face sometimes, but he also got chastised by the Lord a lot, so maybe it softened him a bit. Do I want Nathaniel, who was a little snarky the first time he met Jesus? Can any good thing come out of Nazareth? Is he going to say that about me? Can anything good come out of Southern California? I don't know which apostle I would want to judge me. But then again, there's a specific judgment, or I should say a specific type of person that's being judged by them. The Matthew version was much more general. You will judge the 12 tribes of Israel. But here in section 29, did you catch the end? They will judge the whole house of Israel. If you put the period right there, okay, we didn't learn anything new. But notice the addition. It's a comma. Even as many as have loved me and kept my commandments. And then he clarifies, and none else. Oh, wait a minute. So who are the apostles judging? The righteous. Those who love God, those who keep the commandments. Those are the only ones there that are put on their dockets. In other words, the apostles get the easy cases. The ones they never have to say guilty and slam the gavel down. It's, wow, it's an honor to meet you. Yes, you made some mistakes, but you repented and you proved your love of God. And you tried your best to keep the commandments and you repented when you didn't. And all that love of the Lord and your neighbor, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Enter now into thy rest. If to whatever degree we think of St. Peter at the pearly gates, he's got a pretty easy job. He never says no. Next. Oh, you too, innocent. Oh, wonderful. Come on in. And it's like, man, this is wonderful. What about everyone else? What about anyone who can't qualify under they loved me and kept my commandments? Well, if we picture Christ as our advocate with the Father, as he said in the opening of this revelation, if we picture the Lord standing there, the Holy One of Israel, the keeper of the gate, he employs no servant there. That's 2 Nephi 9. Jesus takes the hard cases himself. Now ponder that. Let that sink in. The easy ones, oh yes, I can delegate those to lesser judges because it's all good news. The harder conversations, actually the harder judgment calls, I will not delegate. I will do those ones myself. Why? Because in my atonement, only I understand everything they've been through. Not only every sin they committed, but every sin that was committed against them. In Gethsemane and Calvary, Jesus assumed the entire messy knot of human existence. He understands the entire spectrum, the whole story. Perpetrator and victim all rolled into one, and he's that one. And so the less obvious cases, oh, you loved the Lord, you kept his commandments, come on in. Any apostle can take care of that. But Jesus, whose arms of mercy are extended, who is our advocate with the Father, who is our Redeemer, who is the great I am, everything he said about himself to start this revelation. I understand where you're coming from. I can be merciful. I will be just. I know the perfect combination to help you. So let's keep working on this. Before I become your judge, your final judge, can I be your probation officer for a while? Can I be your caseworker? Can I be your good shepherd, your mother hen? Can I be your friend and lay down my life for you? This is glorious good news. With a judgment day that should not strike fear into our hearts. This is not a dreadful day of the Lord. It's a great one that lies ahead. And for anyone that needs extra assistance, a more powerful defense attorney, we have him in Jesus.